Hey everyone, Eric here for Walking Dead. And before we get into this, spoiler warning. I'm going to say that, spoiler warning and spoiler warning. Now this is unconfirmed, but it's looking pretty much a great possibility. The AMC has been teasing the final episodes, the last few episodes of Rick Grimes. You know, join in and watch the last episodes of Rick Grimes. We know Rick Grimes is leaving in some capacity or one another. However, again, just got to specify spoiler warning. If you don't want to hear what I'm going to say, then this is not the video for you to watch. But everyone's been talking about how Rick is going to go. It's going to be a gory, a death. It's going to be escaping on the helicopter and things like that as well too. There's been talk about, the last final scene of Rick. He's giggling, laying on the ground, and apparently off camera, Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon, is tickling his feet to make him laugh, probably hallucinating the fact that he's about to die and he's coming to grips with those kind of things. But there's something that's been posted recently on soapdirt.com, and I'll leave the link down below. But the headline, it says, Walking Dead spoilers, Rick Grimes' death details leak, Shane back with John Bernthal cameo. So a lot of us in the Walking Dead community were aware that John Bernthal was back for a cameo. And what does that mean, right? John Bernthal, Shane's character was killed off by Rick, obviously, and was a tough thing for him to do because Shane was his best friend. Shane kind of potentially saved Rick at the hospital by putting a gurney in front of the door and things like that. But then, assumed Rick for dead, went on to, have a relationship with Lori and things like that. It really changed the dynamic of the relationship with Rick. And then eventually Rick had to put him down. So with Shane coming back, it's obviously it has to be in only one capacity. It's a hallucination. So we're going to go that route right now. We're going to talk about that. So with the story like I was telling you about, I'm going to read it verbatimly from the website. It says, Walking Dead spoilers for Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln death details are leaking like a sieve. And they surely are, really. It includes the return of Shane Walsh, John Bernthal, and Rick's final comments. If the sources are right, it looks like Rick. It looks as if Rick falls, and Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, rises. Several sources confirm the details, and these align to other evidence. The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 5 is supposed to be Rick Grimes' swan song episode with a surprising return. Here is the dirt we dug up on Rick's upcoming death. So, again, spoiler warning. So, Savior Discord plays role in Rick Grimes' death. Rick Grimes' death is coming soon. On last week's The Walking Dead, it was evident that animosity between the Saviors and other communities are at a boiling point. The leak says there's more inter-community fighting, and the leaders try to simmer down their people. Rick heads to the sanctuary with much-needed food and supplies, and it shows that there is an ambush along the way. The Saviors that spring up on him are Negan loyalists. And as you see, not everybody is thinking Rick Grimes' way is the way, even though Rick is going to probably provide them with a great future, with safety, food, that kind of thing. Not everyone is on Team Rick. So they lose. So they lose his horses and debate who will kill him. I should say. Sorry. Rumor has it that Jed shoots but misses. It's a kill shot, so he's shooting at Rick. Rick Grimes returns fire and takes out a few. He doesn't die right away though. And the Walking Dead spoiler source says the remaining Saviors run off, leaving Rick for dead. So that's, I think, kind of what we see in that scene where Rick is laying there and you see a walker over him. So he's left for dead. Everyone's thinking he's dead, and they run off and do their thing. So earlier, like also in this article, you're going to see they're going to talk about Shane returning to the set, and everything was supposed to be kept so secretive. But in today's day and age, everyone has a cell phone, and the fans are on set. It's very cool. Most of the fans are polite and courteous and things like that too, and they're not trying to get in the way. But there's always a cell phone, and they capture everything. And that was leaked a while back when Shane was on set, hanging with Andrew Lincoln and obviously Daryl or Norman Reedus as well too, at Nick and Norman's. But anyways, let's continue on. It says the Saviors shoot Rick, and wounded, he starts to hallucinate. But then Shane is there telling him to get the F. I'm not going to say the word on here, but get the F out of there or he'll die. So Rick's hallucinating, just like he did back, post Governor's, during the Governor episodes as well too. Seeing Shane in hallucination. So he's seeing him once again. So Ghost Shane gets Rick on his feet. The leak also reported that snow patrols set the fire to the third bar, or to set the fire to third bar will be Rick's death anthem. This is interesting because Andrew Lincoln told TV Line that the song helped him cope with filming Lori's death scene back in season 3. So obviously, you know, we take these little things from the show, these little cinematic or audible cues. I said that in another episode too, how it leads us from scene to scene. And this is going to be something that's going to be very, very emotional for us as well, just from the soundtrack alone. So let's continue a little further. I'm going to skip some things here in the article, but it says Rick staggers back to Alexandria on The Walking Dead. And this is where when I read this, it really affected me, because Rick is my number one character. You know, I'm not a fanboy by any means. I'm not one of those people. I've said this again and again on the show that I do not rate every episode a 10 out of 10. And some of these people, it's just absolutely ridiculous how they do that. But I'm a Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln fan to my core. And to see him leave is going to be a tough thing to swallow. So, Rick staggers back to Alexandria on The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead spoiler source reveals that Rick gets up and heads back towards home. He sees flashbacks along the way. Remember the scenes from Season 9 promo video showing Rick's boots with blood splatters? That's not him as a walker. That's him walking home, and he's staggering. He is The Walking Dead personified at that point, it seems, from what the article says here. And I'm reading this verbatim from the website and with my own little, side notes. Rick reaches the gates of Alexandria, but by then he's turned walker. Now, can you imagine our hero, Rick Grimes, our leader? He's brought everyone through all kinds of turmoil and got them through to safety. Sure, we've lost some great people. He's made some bad decisions along the way, but he's made great decisions as well, all in the sake of leading people to safety and maybe in pursuit of a cure. And now our leading man becomes a walker. That's a tough one. Just let that sink for a second. So we don't know what's going to happen from there. But meanwhile, as the article continues, Negan is out of his cage. According to the spoilers leak, it looks like he gets the Saviors under control, and when they show up at Alexandria, not too far behind dying Rick, it looks like Negan telling Rick he was just getting the new world ready for me was spot on. So we're looking at potentially episode 5, which is only, at the time of recording this, is only 3 episodes away. It's a real shock. And, I do think, as much as, Negan is the villain here, there's going to be bigger villains coming. It's going to make Negan look like a Boy Scout. But I think maybe our focus is going to be turned to Negan to maybe have some sense of control. It's going to be really, I'm not sure how that's going to work with the Michonnes and the Daryls and the Maggies and the Carols. There's going to be some serious conflict there. But man, oh man, 3 episodes in, we're into some serious stuff here. And I'd like to hear and read your comments down below. Let us know what you think, how you think Rick's going to go. Do you think he's going to go in a helicopter and be I don't believe in that theory whatsoever. He's just going to hop in a helicopter and take off and be, taken off to La La Land. He's got Judith back home. He's got Michonne. I mean, that's his 2 most immediate personal investments as far as, a love in his life. I don't think he's going to leave them behind. I do think, as much as, none of us want to see our hero be killed off, we need that closure. We don't want to know if it's going to be like, is that Rick coming back in season 11 or 12 or 13 or whatever, however long the show lasts. I don't think it's going to last that long, but I think it's got a couple more seasons left in it. But comment below, tell me what you think, how Rick is going to go. And it's going to be a sad day when we lose, Sheriff Rick Grimes. It's going to be a tough one. But love to hear your thoughts, and let's look forward to a fantastic episode 3, Sunday night. It's going to be a good one. And thank you so much for checking out everything here on my brand new series here on YouTube, Walking Dead. And if you enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up. Share it if you like. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do. And I promise to work very hard to keep you as a subscriber just as much as I did. If you're an accidental discoverer of my channel, I thank you so very much. And I look forward to bringing you great content down the road. We'll see you soon. And until next time, cheers.